welcome back to my channel. Today is the second episode of Festival Fakeup Friday. Woo! Yeah. Anyways, so today I have for you a very simple, it's my go-to look. If I'm gonna go to a wedding, I'm gonna go to dinner, I'm gonna go to school. It's just, I feel like it fits everything. I'm just playing. But it is for the event that is coming up next week, which is Insomniac's Beyond Wonderland. And I got inspired by the Cheshire cat. I put my own little spin on it, give him a little Chelsea smile with a nice purple cat eye. If you guys would like to know how to achieve this wonderful look, keep on watching. Alright guys, so before we lay down the latex, we're gonna wipe the area that we're gonna be applying it to with some rubbing alcohol just to remove excess oil so the latex adheres better. Next, we're gonna be using this eyeliner. It doesn't have to be a specific color, but I used red just because I'm gonna be laying down red anyways, and we're gonna outline where we're gonna want to place the mouth. By the way, this kind of a ripped, teared mouth I'm going to be creating is called a Chelsea smile. I feel like it would be really perfect and kind of a nice spin of the regular Cheshire cat smile. So for the latex, I am going to use a triangle sponge, a little throwaway sponge. You can get these anywhere, they're cheap. Then I'm going to be taking some of this Ben Eye latex, and I'm going to put it into this plastic cup because latex is going to ruin everything it touches. Then I'm going to start to fill in the triangles. I am going to be applying multiple layers because we're going to want to end up ripping it later. So here I am just applying layer after layer, letting each layer dry in between. Apply most to the centers because that's where we want most of our thickness to be. And also, as you can tell here, I'm kind of going on the outsides of the lines that I drew because again, we're going to want to start to rip it, and then the lines is kind of like where I wanted the actual mouth to be, so I did a little bit on the outside so the mouth is a little bit bigger. I'm also feathering the edges just to make sure that it's more blended into my skin and looks more natural and doesn't seem like really chunky and like it's just like a prosthetic applied to my face. Now that all of our latex is dry, we're going to go ahead and cut it. So here I'm lifting up the edges a little bit with just a spatula, just pulling it a little bit to the sides, and then I'm getting my scissors in there and just cutting straight down the center. Okay, so after I cut the mouth, I felt like it looked like a little bit too, I don't know, perfect. Like the line was way too straight and it just like didn't seem like realistic to me, even though I was like trying to fold the edges. I was kind of struggling here. So I decided to add some texture. So here I am, I'm going in, I'm just laying down some latex, and then I'm going to grab some cotton balls and actually pull strips from that and lay that onto the latex that I'm laying down. And then I'm going to lay some latex on top of it. Just, so it hardens. Then as it's starting to get a little bit more tacky, I guess you would say, I'm pulling at the edges of the cotton to give it more of a like ripped effect. So this is going to make the skin look more like it's torn, like it's maybe melting, just to give a more scary effect. Okay, so after we're just going to let our latex set for the rest of the video until I'm ready to apply some color to it. So here I'm just filling in my brows with a nice purple shadow from Coastal Scents. Just normally filling my brows like I normally would. I have a eyebrow tutorial, not using powders, but using an eyebrow pencil. If you guys want to check that out, go ahead and scroll through my videos. Okay, so I went ahead and just primed my eyes off camera because, come on, how many times have you guys seen it? You just don't want to see it again. And now I'm going to start with the eyeshadow. So first I'm going to go into my crease with this really light lavender color. And I'm just, popping that right in the crease. I'm kind of winging it out a little bit so I can lay down the base for my purple wing that I'm going to be drawing. Just keep on blending, keep on blending, keep on blending. Now I'm going to go in with the same purple eyeshadow I used for my eyebrows, and I'm going to start to create a wing with this. Here we go, and I'm just starting to draw the line, and then here I am, I'm kind of coloring it in. And then I'm going to take this small blending brush and I'm going to start coloring it in as well again. Then I decided to do a halo eye, so I'm going in also with the same small blending brush, and I'm going to be coloring the inner corners of my eyes. Then I'm going to be taking this silver eyeshadow from my 35 U palette by Morphe, and I'm going to be laying that down in the center to create my halo eye. And I'm also going to be popping a little bit of white on top of that because I felt like the gray looked kind of blue. So yeah. By the way, me and Mark were listening to the full Beyonce concert during this whole video, so I mean, if I sing a little bit, I'm sorry. Okay, so I went ahead and put my eyelashes on off the camera. I used House of Lashes Iconic. Now I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick, and I'm just going to clean up the wing just to make it a little bit more sharp because I did use eyeshadow, so it wasn't that crisp. Now I'm going to be going in and cleaning up my brows just with the same foundation using my e.l.f. $1 concealer brush. Come on, girl, you know that's my favorite. Then I went in for my whole face, and then I applied the foundation to my entire face. By the way, I am using my Morphe M439, my holy grail, you already know. Next, I'm going to highlight my face with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. And I'm going to be blending that again in with my M439. Then I'm going in and setting my under eyes with my CoverGirl translucent powder. And then I'm going in and just setting the rest of my face. Don't mind if you get a little bit on the latex, it's not a big deal. We're going to be coloring it later, so just make sure no oil is coming through, girl. Next, to finish off our cat eye look, I'm going to just run that same purple eyeshadow with the same skinny brush, and we're running that under my waterline just to add some definition to my eyes. Now for the inner corner, I had to create my catty eye, so I'm just pulling it down from my upper eyelid and then connecting it with my bottom eyelid to create this really, really sharp point. Next, I'm just going in with my Define the Lash Maybelline mascara and pop that right on my bottom lashes. It's not going to be complete if you don't have that, girl. Don't skip the step. And here, just to open up my eyes a little bit, I'm running some white eyeliner into my waterline. I feel like it makes it look a little bit more creepier. Next, I'm going with this highlight from City Color, and I'm going to just be patting that on the highlights of my face. Girl, you know I have a Boston highlight. Girl, that's all I'm going to say. Next, I'm going to go in with this Bent Eye Bruise and Abrasions color wheel. We're going to use this on our Chelsea smile. And I'm just taking, you know, any old brush. It's kind of like a concealer brush, but anyone will do. First, I'm going to tap into this really dark red shade. I'm just going to be coloring the outside of the cut first. I didn't really show this, but I was also tapping into the redder shade that I first showed and the black shade, just kind of mixing all three just to get more of a more natural effect now, so the mouth wasn't just one solid color. And here you can tell after I'm applying it, I'm kind of spreading it out to make it look more like the skin is irritated and not just so concentrated right against the cut. Basically, just keep coloring and coloring until you're satisfied with how covered it is. Here for the inside of the mouth, I'm just going to lay down a red first, and then I'm going to add some darker red to just add some dimension. One tip I want to let you guys know about latex is, like, as you can see, I'm going in with the big brush and I'm getting like most of the part, but when I start to actually color the cut, a lot of the latex still shines through because it's creating a lot of, you know, crevices and creases and things like that. So I go in with a smaller brush to fill those in. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my lips. Here I'm just coloring them nice and pretty like I normally would. And I was like, you know what, girl? If my mouth was cut open, my lips would not be this perfect. So, you know, let's just mess them up. So I'm starting to blend, you know, the color out to make it look more realistic. Like my mouth has been torn and taunted. And here, you know, I'm really getting into character. I'm just like, ah. Okay, next. Next, I'm going to go in with this fake blood. I actually got it during Halloween time at this, like, really off-brand thrift store. But, you know, they always pop up those weird Halloween stores around Halloween. So I'm sure you could get this anywhere, like on Amazon or eBay or, you know, anywhere. Just type in fake blood, it'll pop up. It's pretty cheap. The one thing I did like about this fake blood, though, is that the viscosity, as one would say, the texture and just like the consistency of the blood was not very runny. So as I was applying it, if it started to drip, the drip would like hold, and it was like, oh my god, yes. Like, I wasn't trying to have blood everywhere, you know, but like the fact that it was actually holding in place, just I felt like made it look so cool. For the outside of the cut, because it was looking a little dry, and to make things look more realistic, yes, I am going in with some lubricant. Yes, I did go to the store to buy this with my mother. Yes, it was awkward, but it's okay, girls. Don't be afraid. Like, if you have to buy this at the store, you shouldn't be ashamed because you know what you're using it for. If they ask you any questions, you just gotta say, I'm gonna make a fake ass mouth on my face. Shut up. Okay, then I started applying a little bit to my mouth because I wanted my lips to look like more glossy as well, but then I was like, you know what, this doesn't even look good. So here I am, you can tell I'm just wiping it off, and you know, F this, I'm gonna start all over, and I'm going with first with Jeffree Star's Unicorn Blood, and I'm just applying this right on top of my lips. Now, I obviously knew that the red was way too red, so then here I am applying Jeffree Star's Dominatrix Velour Liquid Lipstick right on top of it to add some dimension. And because I knew that these were going to dry matte, I'm also adding this Milani red lip gloss on top just to make it look extra glossy and extra messy. And plus, it smells really good. Okay, my little kittens. The look isn't going to be complete if you don't obviously add whiskers and a cute little kitty nose. So here I am taking the black from the Nye Bruise and Abrasions wheel. And I'm making just a little cute heart on my nose. Next, for my whiskers, I'm just taking some black liquid liner and I'm making some little dots on my upper lip. And then not really in a nice pattern or everything, just nice and random. We're gonna let that dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna be taking the same small brush and I'm dumping that into the original purple that I used and just creating 3 little cute lines to make my little whiskers complete. Alrighty then, everyone. This is the finished product for my Festival Fakeup Friday look. If you guys would like to see any more special effects makeup, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And last but definitely not least, have fun in Wonderland, my friends.